Stephen A., what is Kerr saying here?
Well, what he's saying is that the Cleveland Cavaliers should enjoy this year, because after this year, the likelihood is that the Boston Celtics are going to be the dominant team within the Eastern Conference, and we all need to pay attention to it. The reality is clear. Kyrie Irving is a bad somebody. This brother is just special. Mask or no mask, he's real. He's really all that and a bag of chips. And when you look at the young athletic bodies that they have, the Jaylen Browns of the world, the Jason Tatums of the world, a savvy veteran like Al Horford in the mix, a guy like Burns who just came over there and his only job is to be a muscle dude and grab rebounds and be a physical presence that they were lacking last year. If you look at what they were doing in terms of defense, in terms of rebounding last year, and how things have so dramatically changed this year, it speaks to all of that. And you're getting production from Rozier and others, Marcus Smart and others, because what you're finding is a situation where Brad Stevens has essentially cemented himself as the brightest young coach in all of basketball right now. The man is just that special as a basketball coach. The players love playing for him. They rave about the system, the things that he communicates, the things that he implements, the way that he communicates with them. He relates to them. I mean, this is the gem of all the gems that Danny Ainge has discovered, as far as I'm concerned. So when you take that into consideration and you look at the Cavaliers being the oldest team in the NBA, averaging an age of 30, having some of the trials and tribulations that they have had, understanding that LeBron James is the best in the world, and if it were not for his presence alone, they'd probably be in the lottery, then it gives you some insight to what we're witnessing here. We're witnessing the dawn of a new era within the Eastern Conference. Whether or not it's officially arrived max this year or not remains to be seen, because we still have to see the season go on, and obviously Gordon Hayward is not there. But right now, you look at the Boston Celtics, I think Steve Kerr is saying, Cleveland Cavaliers, enjoy this year, because after this year, it's no doubt in anybody's mind that Boston is the team to look out for in the future.
And whether or not Steve Kerr realizes it, if you take what he's saying to its logical conclusion, what he's really saying is Danny Ainge is the ever-loving man. He is that dude. Danny Ainge, Stephen A., has created a process even Stephen A. Smith can trust. You think about what the Celtics have been recently as they have ascended. It's not like they've just stunk out the joint for a bunch of years and said, oh, just wait and wait, we'll be good. You could see them building right away and every year getting better. He has perfected the process. He's like Sam Hinkie meets Jerry West. Danny Ainge looked around and took advantage of an impatient Russian oligarch in Prokhorov who thought he could George Steinbrenner his way to a championship when he bought the Nets, not really thinking it through. Oh, there's a salary cap. It doesn't work that way. And King, the GM, was just a weak GM that Danny Ainge exploited. He traded Garnett and Pierce when they were clearly not the same players anymore. Clearly they couldn't help the Celtics win championships anymore as the nucleus of that team. He got rid of them and their contracts and got back first-round draft picks that weren't lottery protected till the end of time. The Celtics still have these picks coming in. So, yes, he did that, but he also, Stephen A., didn't get impatient. The timing has to be right. Sometimes it's just not time to pull the trigger. You have to wait. Oh, is he going to trade for Paul George? No, the timing's not right, because last year we all knew it's going to be not this year, meaning last year, or next year, meaning this year, but the year after that the Celtics might take over the East. So he waited, and when the time was right, he pushed his chips to the middle of the table. First, he clears cap space and signs Gordon Hayward. That didn't work out, and it didn't even matter because Ainge is also excellent in the draft. You mentioned Tatum and Jaylen Brown. They're long, they're athletic, they're so young, and they're already good. And Tatum comes out of college pretty polished, 6'10". I mean, the Celtics, and this is without Gordon Hayward. He does this. Kyrie Irving, a distressed asset. He's going to be sold, so to speak, for less than maybe he'd normally be worth. First of all, no one else in the league had the assets ready at the go that the Celtics did to trade for Kyrie. In fact, I made the comment at the time, anyone who's available, is Anthony Davis, whoever's available, the Celtics have more to give you than anyone else. because Ainge not only exploited weaknesses in the league on with other teams' ownerships and GMs, he not only did that, but he created a competitive environment, identified the right young coach, put everything together, and then the timing was just right. He didn't let pressure get to him and make a hasty move before it was time. He waited, pushed his chips to the middle of the table just at the right time, and the Celtics going forward, that's a bad team right there. That's what Kerr is really saying if he thinks it through.